This is Jane Langston, who posted a video from intensive care to warn others to take the virus seriously. There is a warning that some viewers may find the clip distressing.
If anyone... If anyone is thinking of taking any chances, just take a look at me. I'm in the intensive care unit. I can't breathe without this. They've had to sew that into my artery. Please, none of you take any chances. I mean it. Because if it gets really bad, then you're going to end up here.
Tara's back home, joins us from Ruislip in northwest London. Tara, welcome. Thanks for joining us. How are you now?
Hi, Colin. Thank you for having me on. I feel so much better today, and every time I hear that clip and see that clip, that clip was actually taken whilst I was in ICU, and it just sort of transports me right back to that moment in time. And you know, I took that video as I sent it to a WhatsApp group to my work friends, and then it went viral. And you know, it brings it all back, sort of what it was like being in ICU for those 3 days. It was pretty scary.
So you were in for 3 days. Was that towards the moment where you were discharged? Because although you were obviously struggling for breath and you're in distress in that video, you compos mentis. I mean, you're clearly able to think and you're aware of what's going on around you.
Absolutely. And my body had been fighting this virus for quite some time at home. And I went into the hospital, they swabbed me, they admitted me. And it was, I think, 3 days later that they realised that my swab had come back positive. Previous to that, I was in an isolated room. And as Simon was saying before, the gentleman that was speaking, I was on 4 litres of oxygen. And, you know, 4 litres of oxygen is 4 litres of oxygen, but actually needing any oxygen at all is very distressing and traumatic. When you can't physically use the bathroom because, you know, you can't breathe, it's very distressing. And what happened for me was I then went up. I needed 5 litres of oxygen. I needed 6 litres of oxygen. And with that also, I had pneumonia on both my lungs. So to know that the Prime Minister doesn't have pneumonia, that is really positive and really good news. And I think it's after 4 litres of oxygen that they then admit you to ICU. And I just want to use this moment to touch on the nurses and doctors, even the cleaners. Everyone is fighting this fight. The doctors and nurses at Hillingdon Hospital, they really took good care of me, and they are the most incredible people that you could ever hope to meet.
And as you're lying there, you know, don't you, they're doing everything they can with the resources that they've got at their disposal to keep you alive. But it must have crossed your mind, Tara, that this might be it for you. You might be about to die.
Yeah, I was sobbing. When you cry and you panic, your breathing gets even worse. And I just thought that I wasn't going to see my girls grow up. And the thought of being sedated and intubated was really scary. I actually had patients on either side to me who were intubated, and I saw how they were being treated. Every time a nurse or a doctor had to, you know, do something for them, they were talking to them as if they were conscious. They were taking a diary, a journal for them, because when you're intubated, you lose days, you lose time. And it really helped to put my emotions at ease, because I thought, right, well, if it gets that bad and I need to be sedated, I know that I'm in safe hands and I'm going to be in good care. But it is scary, and you do think the worst, and that's obviously the worst thing for you at the time, because then your breathing just exasperates and gets worse, and you just need to calm down.
In a sense, your story, Tara, is encouraging. I mean, you know, you had pneumonia, but you weren't intubated. We're told from Downing Street that Boris Johnson doesn't have pneumonia. Yeah. The hope is perhaps he's just getting a bit of, if I can put it this way, gentle help in terms of his breathing. And if that's so, then you know, if we're lucky, he'll make a full recovery and fairly quickly.
Absolutely. I had to have the CPAP, which is it's quite suffocating, actually. It's not pleasant. It's a big mask that you have, and it really opens up your lungs to get oxygen in there. And from having that, I turned a corner, which I'm so grateful for. But, you know, everyone's different, and I know for me, when I left the ICU, I then had to spend some time on another ward in an isolated room. And you know what? I just wanted to sleep. My body was so tired, so exhausted. Your body is working as hard as it can to fight the virus, and I just wanted to sleep. And you know, Boris Johnson has been fantastic so far, and my heart goes out to his family and his partner, because she is expecting. I have friends and family who are expecting as well at the moment, and they're trying to navigate their way through this because it's just so frightening. So, you know, I think the fact that he doesn't have pneumonia is a really positive sign, but he does need to get some rest, you know, after this as well, if he can. I don't know. He's a busy guy.
Sarah, it's wonderful you're back with your family, and we really appreciate you sharing your story. And it does the trick. It does tell people what potentially might happen if they don't take all the due precautions. Really good to talk to you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.